welcome to episode 12 of Rigor Mortis Paranormal. Tonight's chilling stories include a father-in-law comes back from beyond for one last cigarette, a haunting at Perrin Crest Apartments Part 2, an interview with Lauren of Sisters Grimm San Antonio Ghost Tour, and more evil tales from beyond. I am David, this is Robert and Jasmine. Hello.
Hey guys, voice wise, I feel like talking more.
Alright, well, you're talking. You're on air. So what do y'all think, man? We got a packed night tonight.
You know, one thing you didn't mention is the Santa Ana one, and his story was a really good one.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing an update on that one.
More
there was kind of a
explaining,
gap between, I guess, the last paranormal experience.
Yeah, he didn't just want to leave it like that. Yeah, he actually
went into
explanation.
depth.
Yeah. So that was good. And then we got,
we got Kory in the house.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody showed up.
Yeah, I know.
And not only that,
Go draw us something.
And we got Ian, we got my son sitting back here. He's
actually, there you go.
playing his games. Playing games. If you hear the remote going every once in a while, or is it called a remote? I don't know what it's called. A game controller. Yeah.
Actually, awesome with EVPs, man. That's our EVP guy right there, man.
Yeah.
We actually went up. What was that? Ian, about how many years ago was that? When we went to the Black Swan Inn, and
2 years ago,
something like that. And when we did that EVP session in the back, that was excellent.
Really cool. Speaking of Black Swan Inn.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a Halloween special coming up, and we actually did interview with Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne.
She was such a nice lady.
Wonderful lady. Yeah. She had a lot to tell us. The whole episode is going to be on Black Swan Inn. It's really awesome. We weren't even looking for it, but we actually got a couple of EVPs, which was interesting. And we're total skeptics. I was probably the biggest skeptic. I kept on going back and saying, no, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. But
yeah, we kept trying to go debunk it.
I think
trying
all
to
of
figure
us
it
are
out.
skeptics on it, but it just, we listened to it over and over and over, and it just, we couldn't.
Yeah,
debunk
it was. But that's the thing that she said. Ms. Joanne Rivera, gracious host, very sweet woman. It was loaded with ghost stories.
Yeah, we initially walked in thinking we'd get 15 minutes. We don't want to bother her.
Yeah, and she just lit it up. It was so cool. And then just being in the house doing the interview was just awesome. That house, it is beautiful, and at the same time, it is kind of scary.
It is, actually, yeah.
Well, we don't want to give too much away. Our Halloween special is going to be great. We'll give out a little snippets here and there. Jasmine, actually.
Yeah, she's going to mention some of the things that Black Swan has coming up. They do a lot of events.
They actually have a masquerade ball coming up on October 29th, and it's $75 for entrance before 7 p.m. and after 9:30 it's $25. During that actual masquerade ball, she said Andrea Perrin's going to be there.
That's Andrea Perrin. For y'all don't know, she's the oldest daughter from the Perrin family. If y'all seen The Conjuring, she's the oldest daughter, but the one that actually lived it, not the actress, the true daughter from the Perrin family.
So she got to witness the Warrens.
Yeah, she actually
in action.
And she's gonna be there. She's gonna be there.
Also, for you lovebirds, there's a $300 wedding.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely.
She'll
That's
provide
gonna be
most of the
awesome.
stuff, and it's like $50 for your guest.
It's the same night, right?
Same night.
Yeah, she said you can go to the ball as well.
Yeah,
that fee
and
will
she'll
get
give
to
you
the
like
ball.
the cake, the champagne. There's like a package deal it comes with. You just got to come with your license and your spouse, a living one preferably.
That's the one that they do towards. Is it the gazebo?
She said right there near the cemetery.
That's right, in the cemetery. They have an awesome cemetery. I thought it was real because I'm stupid, but it's one of the props that they're going to be using for that wedding.
which is at 6:30.
Thank you, Ian. Yes, at 6:30.
Another thing that's coming up on October 22nd, they have a zombie survival chase, and you can either pay to be a zombie or you can pay to be a human. And basically, you're doing a scavenger hunt. You're trying to get away from the zombies.
What time does that start?
Yeah, I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
What time does it start, Ian?
Pulling up the website.
You know,
There we go.
you can find this
He's
on
going
Facebook on anything. There's even a junior chase hunt, so that's pretty cool.
Junior chasing,
Yeah.
man. They go all out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As long as they ain't got that goat involved in it, man, I'll be good.
Oh, that goal was something else.
Oh yeah, they had a goat there following us around the whole time, and
Be aware.
that got a little scary, man.
Yeah, so the registration begins at 4 p.m. and the junior chase, the zombie arrival starts at 4 p.m. while the chase begins at 5:30. And then the adult chase, zombie arrival starts at 4:30 while the chase begins at 7:30.
Do they have the fees on that?
No, but Jess has the fees.
To be an adult human, it's $49.99. Adult zombie is $34.99. The junior chase is $9.99. And tell me what that says right there.
General admission is $4.99.
Oh, cool.
Wow. You know, it's weird. You think the zombie would be a little bit more, because I think everybody would want to be a zombie.
Well, there's actually I sound so stupid. I went up to her and I was like, I'm gonna volunteer to be a zombie. She was like, okay, just pay.
Yeah.
Volunteer me.
Volunteer all you want, but it's going to cost you.
You're volunteering to pay.
It's an awesome place, though. I mean, really, if you do look on the website, take a look at what they have. Their house is just immaculate. The inside and outside is just
beautiful.
Yeah, they have so much old stuff inside. It's beautiful. I loved it. Outside also.
We got some good stuff. You guys are gonna want to watch that.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Some really good
We're
stuff.
going to try and put a video together. I'm hoping to have enough time to do that, but we're going to try and edit some of the stuff that we actually filmed that night. Again, we are going to hear some EVPs that we caught by accident. I swear we had nothing to do with this. We weren't even there for EVPs. We were there for the interview, and I was doing some of the editing. I haven't even finished the editing. I just started. It was just a little piece. I barely got started on it.
Yeah, we've been caught up on that one piece.
Yeah, and actually we got two.
Oh, yeah, we got two.
And now we may have even heard a third thing. So I'm like,
We won't give that away. We'll give that away. But it is a great interview. She's loaded with really, really, really interesting stories. Some really good stuff.
And yeah, just check out their page because they're always they have like a slumber party that happens.
Oh, yeah.
They're always having events
yeah, you
there.
can spend a night there and experience ghosts.
Yeah, although she did say that most of the people that want to stay the night there don't end up staying the night there.
Yeah.
So
that's yeah.
see if you're
Open
man enough.
investigations too. Open investigations, and then
No, they may. Yeah.
I'm reading on the
Oh,
website.
you're reading on the
They do.
website, so I guess they do.
Sorry. Also, apparently they have like market days too.
Market days.
I guess.
Look, Ian, you're not gonna take over my spot as research person. Alright? I'm just kidding. Damn, he's doing a really good job.
He's doing a fantastic. I don't know. Hold on, Ian.
I don't think he should come around anymore. He's doing better than all of us.
You drawing over there too?
Yeah. I know. He's drawing. He's putting Kory out of business too.
Oh my god.
No, but honestly, it was a great place, great time. Well, we had a great time there. Joe is wonderful.
She tried to make me a sloppy Joe. The lady is just
I
so
know.
gracious, man. I felt so embarrassed, man. The lady is just so sweet. I loved it. We all
She looked
loved it.
surprised when you said no.
No. Come on. Look at the size of you guy. You know you want one. And I probably did deep down inside, but that's embarrassing.
Her house smelled really good. Like, for being an older house, I was like, damn, that smells good.
I know, right? That's
That
awesome.
wasn't good enough. If you had to walk through that hallway, I don't know, man. That hallway was creepy,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, we have some stories about that hallway, too.
Anyway,
Oh, Sisters Grimm, too. Jasmine had the luxury of doing the interview with them today. Unfortunately, Robert and I were not available.
we had to do our real
so
jobs,
we kind of,
man.
Yeah, they work, I don't.
We threw Jasmine under the bus. And
It was a great interview. And she was very nice also. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
she was a
just-
very nice lady. It's more me. I'm awkward.
Well, Jasmine, you didn't have any beer yet, right?
I didn't. Oh my god, I woke up and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, which is too early for me. And I was like, oh my god, I need a fucking beer. Like,
darn wino, man.
I was thinking, like, can I chug 3 beers right now?
Right during the interview. Or...
Oh, that would have been awesome, man. Yeah.
It's like, Kory came home with a fucking funny story today.
Oh man.
What you got, Kory?
So we got this new janitor at work, right? And I work with aircraft, and we need parts and stuff. So we had little parts bags.
Oh, you
She
were
was,
with airplanes, yeah.
Yeah, and she was.
Okay, so it's a
She doesn't speak
lady
much
jet.
English, yeah.
Oh,
So close out the restroom, the men's restroom, and go in there and clean it. And she's been there about a week. She came out today freaking out, man. We had airport security and the security there at my work there, and she talked to one of my buddies there, and he's white, man. He don't speak a lick of Spanish, so she was trying to talk to him, and I was like, "What's going on, man?" And she said she found a parts bag with white powder in it. On the toilets. You know, most of the guys know what it's there for. It's baby powder, man. We get sweaty and stuff.
What do you call it?
We get rosal.
Oh, there you go. Kory's got it
That's
down.
what is that? Okay, well, y'all don't know what the rosal is. That's for gentlemen who get kind of like jock gauge, man. And yeah, there you go. The unpleasantness of.
She freaked out, man. She thought it was cocaine or something. But my buddy he was like nervous. He's like, I don't know how to tell an old female that it's because her balls get sweaty. He freaked out. So we had our supervisor who speaks boldly. We had him translate it. Hey, it's just baby powder. Calm down. The guys have it in there. We'll make sure to keep it out.
What the hell? Y'all just share a bag bag baby powder
No,
there?
people take their own in there. They
I was like, y'all have y'all's name on them?
say, buddy,
The
you got
back.
Oye, ¿qué
baby
see that? Señora, los huevos andas bien sudi. Y tiene, anda como rosado, bien rosado. Y echen esa, el powder. Oh, pues, bueno, tiene. Pues válgame. Oh, pues, yo no sabe.
Kory, the way you rolled that R was beautiful, man. You're more Mexican than me.
Put it down.
I don't have one that good, but I did have one, and it did have it a couple of days back. I was at our headquarters where we work, and it's weird because all the restrooms look the same, the men's and the women's, but there's one difference. The women's has more toilets, obviously. The men's has urinals, right? Well, this buddy of mine, he tells me, dude, I messed up bad. Okay, first I was walking with him. We were walking down the hallway, and this lady who was coming, and you know, she was kind of fancy, man, and he's looking at her, and he kind of looks, and he's like, oh, hi. He looked like he got flustered a little, like red. And I go, man, dude, what's wrong with you, man? And he goes, yeah, you see that lady? And I was like, yeah, man. And he goes, well, dude, man, I had to take a vicious dump, man. He said he came back from some Chinese restaurant, and it just went south on him, man. Yeah, he said that, man. He said, dude, I didn't even think, man. He said, I just bolted to the toilet, man. Just went in there, and just like running in there, the first stall, boom, opened it up. Man, he just unleashed us, man. Yeah, just, I mean, like hanging onto the handicap rails and stuff, man. Just like, you know, like, you know.
Like a jetpack.
So,
Coming
So-
off the ground a little.
so like he's doing his business. So he said, I hear other people coming in. I hear other doors, and I think other people have diarrhea because it sounds like water. And so he said, so I'm done, and I get done doing my business, right? And I flush away the glyphs that I left on the hieroglyphics in the toilet. He says, I open the stall door, man, and when I'm coming out, the person next to me is coming out also. It's a lady. It's a lady,
Yeah, he
man.
went into the ladies' room?
And he said that she looked at him and he looked at her. Yeah, he took a shit next to this lady. And she was peeing. So he thought they had diarrhea. You're stupid, right?
yeah.
So he comes out, he looks at her, and then another lady walks in. And she stops and she looks at him and he's like, I think y'all are in the wrong restroom. I'm like, you got two ladies.
I know.
And he said they were real cool about it, but like,
Oh my god, that's bad.
I couldn't stop laughing when he told me. That was one of the ladies that was passing, but I couldn't stop laughing. She just kind of smiled and said,
Oh
damn,
my
you know.
God. Did she work there too? Or
Yeah, she worked there too.
And you worked there, so they're gonna see each other on a
Yeah,
regular
but like
basis.
he made it more awkward because he's
Yeah.
the one that released, man. I mean, they were like, man, it smells like a man's taking a shit in here, you know. And sure enough, yeah.
Excuse me, you got a newspaper over there?
Okay, I'm on a courtesy flush, but you know
Man, that's
what?
horrible, man.
Enough of that one. Uber.
Uber, yes, okay. Yeah.
Uber story, baby.
You know what? I got a story that ranks right up there with that. You know, I had these three guys. They were all about 600 pounds apiece.
Man, come on, man.
What restaurant were they coming from?
Man, no, it wasn't.
It was a gym? Were they coming from a gym?
No, they're coming from the gym, yeah. Yeah, they had
you can eat.
No, man, these guys. honestly-
Herbalife meeting.
Yeah, Herbalife. Jenny Craig, man.
Oh, man.
No, man, three big guys. They were huge. I had to make 2 trips.
Oh, Lord.
These guys are huge. I have a Suburban. That's a huge Suburban.
Ah,
too.
yeah, it's a
And,
big one, man. It's nice.
You know, the back end you have to lift up. The guy wanted to sit in the back, man.
No way.
That guy was huge, man. He didn't fit.
No
he
way,
did
man.
not fit, honestly. And it's a Suburban, so he didn't actually fit. The
That's
front,
mean, I'm
the first
laughing.
guy, the first guy that sat in the front, he was really big, and you know I have the digital seats. It has a button on the bottom, and you can push the seat back. The dude pushed the seat as far back as it can go, man.
Laid down the
I
seats.
swear he did not fit.
No.
Man. I mean, he managed. He made himself fit, but
Oh, he made it.
but he
His
didn't.
skin pressed up against a glass.
Oh, yeah, it's
it's
like-
just all flat.
His face was on the front windshield.
The guy wanted to sit in back.
The guy,
Yeah, just put me on the luggage rack. I'll be fine.
he like just prop open the door in the back and
Oh, poor
you know, sit
guy,
in the
man.
back.
For real, man. I've been there. It's my fat ass, but
That's why we're all laughing because we're all really skinny.
Yeah.
No, but this guy was like super large, man.
Dude,
I mean,
what is
like,
it?
really
I'll
big.
wait.
Yeah, he's like, well, if you don't mind, can you come back for me? And I'm like, dude, you know what? It's like, I felt so bad. I wanted to give him a free ride, honestly, because I felt bad.
Give me a bag of
Dude, if you
Doritos
didn't
and a
fit in
Diet
the
Coke.
back, I mean, how are you gonna?
Well, no,
you have to come back with a flatbed?
Oh my god.
That's me. That's me. I'm fat, so I can say this. I'm huge. Yeah, if you listen to the story before this one, man, you understand, man. I break chairs and speed chairs, so I can say these things, man.
No, but man, the guys were big, man. But the third guy,
man.
I did have to make a separate trip for him because he was too big, man, and I felt bad, but he didn't fit. I'm sorry, man. The guy didn't.
Where'd you put him in the second? I mean, where did you put him when you dropped everybody
he did
off?
have to sit in the back seat, but he had the whole back row to himself.
Oh, cool. He just kind of sat in the middle, or was he close the door
that's all he
properly?
could do, man. He had to, but he was honestly considering sitting in the back, and the very back with the gate. Lift gate.
The gate with
Well, I
the
know the
animal.
gate. I know.
With your hatch, yeah, your back hatch.
With the hatch open. I'm like, dude, I can't do that. That's like
God.
that's against the law.
Dude, I would have cried on the way home, wherever you're taking me.
And that's a
I would have told you
suburban, though.
just
It's
drop
like-
me off at all you can eat, man. All my pains will go away, man. Shit.
I felt so bad.
Poor
so
guy,
it's
man.
funny, but at the same time, I feel bad. I just like, oh.
I hope that guy don't.
know.
Hey,
I
wait a
don't
minute.
Okay, let me hear some ghost stories. Wait a
I was on
minute.
an Uber where I had to sit by myself.
It was crazy, man. Yeah, and then they were going to go eat. Actually, I picked them up from a hotel. And they were going to, I can't remember which place it was, but I know it's an all you can eat. I was like, man, these guys do not need to be going there.
Dude, man,
Especially
the
the last
second guy just wanted to go home. He's like, they're already ahead of me. They're ready to... Like, yeah, you know, you wanted to say, oh, trust me, they're still there, guys.
You're keeping him. Oh my god. That's so
Fortunately, they weren't too far from each other, so the guy was able to catch up to him.
Cool, man, yeah.
Eating.
Okay. Oh my god.
But anyway.
That poor guy. Man, I'm weird making jokes, but I've been there and I felt that, man. I know his pain, man.
I know.
Yeah, that's terrible,
I'm
man.
having to wait.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, having to wait.
Having
I
to
was
wait
like,
for a buffet. No,
well, at
I'm
least
just-
he was cool about it, right?
No, he was. The guy was super cool about it. But you know what? I don't mean to sound bad again, but man, he smelled bad.
Oh,
Actually, all
man.
three of them did. They smell horrible,
Oh,
man.
man,
I was
like they came back from jogging or
yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. And they just got out of the shower.
Jazz
Came
was
downstairs to the
laughing.
hotel.
She's trying not to laugh, but she's laughing her ass off. She's laughing worse than us, man.
Oh my god.
He was quiet over there. He's just shaking his head
We're
like.
gonna lose our fat audience.
Yeah. Fuck y'all, man. Especially that fat motherfucker. You said you broke a chair, which I did.
You know what, Rob? Hold
Oh
on.
my
Where's
God.
that chair? Where is your
Oh,
chair?
man.
Oh, man, your normal one.
Actually,
Did it finally give way?
no, yeah, I had to get it restitched, man.
Gotta
Okay.
weld it in the corner.
Yeah,
I fucking fell off the
The spider
table
web.
this weekend, and I broke a chair within the same day. I was like, "Fuck, that's a sign."
and there was no beer there.
Oh my God.
I don't know why she did
I
those
stood
things. I
on
was
the table
like,
and the table tipped over, and it was like a steel picnic table. I was like,
Oh my
"What
God.
the?"
That's crazy.
And I got home and I was like, "Okay, I need a beer." And I reached down for my beer, and the fucking chair gave way. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was so mad. I just wanted to go to bed.
we just found a stronger chair and just kept drinking.
I did keep drinking, but
Anyway, let's get to our stories, man. Jeez.
we're gonna start off with the Santa Ana one.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. I
You know
love
what?
reading
That sounds
first,
good.
man, because that means by the time the last story is around, I don't have to worry about reading.
Oh, there you go. If we could drink them.
Yeah, I can drink more throughout the rest of the episode.
And I gotta go pee.
Okay.
Oh, are we recording?
We're still recording, but I'll pause it if you need to. Let's go ahead and take a quick beer break.
Oh, yeah.
Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours. Planning on visiting or live in San Antonio and looking for something fun to do? Visit Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours for an eerie night out in San Antonio, Texas. Book a ghost tour and be transported into a world of ghostly happenings and terrifying histories. Join them for ghost walking tours for a stroll through the streets of old San Antonio and recount the stories of centuries past and bring history to life. Or enjoy a 3-course dinner by candlelight and ghost tour at the haunted Menger Hotel. Book your tour online at www.sistersgrimmghosttour.com. That's SISTERSGRIMM, ghosttour.com. Or call 210-638-1338 to reserve your tour today. Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours. Alright, this one is from Ruben. He actually wrote to us in episode 9. He's given us a part 2 to his first story. Ruben writes, "Hey Rigor Mortis podcast crew. I wrote in previously about the voice and the baby monitor that was featured in episode 9. I was writing to fill in the gap in the story between the time of the event and the time of the exorcism. Anyhow, over time the incident with the voice and the baby monitor began to fade in our memory and things eventually went back to normal. One night after dinner, I was standing in the kitchen, alone, washing dishes, when the hair on the back of my neck stood on end. It felt as if someone's icy breath was on the back of my neck and I could hear whispering right near my ear. I was frozen for a moment, and as soon as I composed myself, the whispering stopped and I was left shivering and questioned, what the hell just happened? I decided to keep it to myself rather than scare my girlfriend. Small things like sounds of footsteps, things going missing, and showing up in strange places became commonplace and almost unnoticed. Then one day, shortly after I arrived at work, I got several calls from my girlfriend. I stepped outside and called her back to make sure everything was okay, and what she told me was the deciding factor on our decision to seek out further assistance. Her story is as follows. I arose and left for work at about 5 a.m., which was the normal routine. When I left, my baby daughter and girlfriend were sleeping soundly in our bed. Sometime after I left, my girlfriend awoke to the sound of footsteps walking around our room, only vaguely aware of what she was hearing as she was half asleep laying there with her eyes closed. She lay there holding my daughter, waiting for her to fall back asleep when she felt the end of the bed near her feet depressed as if someone took a seat. She thought to herself, it felt late and I was usually gone by then. Assuming it was me, she spoke out loud, "Are you not going to work today?" When the only response she got was a shifting on the bed, she called out my name and opened her eyes to see nothing sitting at the end of the bed and no one in our room. Confused, she sat up and looked around as a sense of fear started to creep up her spine. Then, abruptly, the bed started to shake as if someone was lifting it from the foot of the bed and violently tossing it up and down. This woke up our daughter, who immediately began to cry. My girlfriend clutched her near her chest and closed her eyes, not knowing what else to do as the bed continued to bounce up and down. Frozen in fear, she did the only thing she thought would help as she started to say the Lord's Prayer to herself. To her horror, a man's deep, ghastly voice started to repeat the prayer in a mocking tone. This was the most upsetting part to her. Then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped, leaving her sitting there, comforting our child, and mind completely blown. Later that evening, I arrived home and she told me the story. To be honest, I thought maybe she had a nightmare or something as it seemed too crazy. But once I saw the look on her face and I questioned her, I had no doubt she was telling the truth. Then, that is when we decided to ask for help. Up until that point, it was creepy and kind of fun to hear people tell us their strange experiences when they stayed the night or compare notes with my girlfriend anytime we had a new experience. Even after we heard the voice on the baby monitor sing to our child, we could feel at least slightly at ease, thinking that it was at least a nice voice and maybe not threatening. Now after this incident, it was confirmed that whatever was happening was not fun and darker than expected. Once we were put in contact with the couple who were to come exorcise the house, a date was set and the house was cleared of my roommates. My cousin, her husband, and the couple arrived one evening and walked the house. There was a strange heavy feeling in the air as they walked from room to room, taking it in and listening to our story. Then they sat us down, and each couple took turn anointing us with rose oil and praying over us. Then they went to each room, reading out of a prayer book and sprinkling holy water and oil. Things started to feel even heavier and electric, almost buzzing. Then they had us stand in the middle of our home while holding our baby and declared our ownership over our child and home. And then they demanded the spirit to leave our house as it was ours and no longer theirs. They had insisted on turning every light in the house on before we began, and as we neared the end of the ceremony, the light in the hallway began to trip slightly. When the final words were spoken, I swear, I felt someone opened all the doors and windows, letting in fresh air, and the light in the house shone a few levels brighter, as if there had been turned up from a dimmer switch. The male of the couple was the more clairvoyant of the two, and told us that he saw the spirit was of a woman who once lived there with her children and husband. He stated she was very mean and hateful, and abused her children and husband verbally, so much that her husband left her. Then later, when her children grew old enough, they left her too. She then remained alone and bitter until her death. Now after death, she left between her lingering anger and bitterness, yet also torn between grief of mother who feels her own chance at motherhood was wasted. This story I didn't put too much faith into, as pretty much anyone could have just made up a story after hearing what happened to us. It did honestly feel thrown together. Also, another interesting thing to note, as they were leaving and we said our goodbyes, he did mention how much of a difference the house had felt after they finished the rituals. His wife said, "Yeah, feels a lot easier to breathe, and everything got so much brighter when we finished." This made the hair on my arm stand straight up, as I hadn't said anything about noticing the lights getting brighter. Thank you guys for listening to my story. I hope I was able to shed more light on the previous one. After that day, we never had any more experiences in that house, and we moved a little over a year later. I still drive by the house when I'm in the neighborhood since I don't live too far from there. To this date, it still sits empty. 3 years have almost gone by to the day. I heard the landlord was unable to rent it out and then had a heart attack shortly after I left. I can't help but wonder if the spirits decided to make a return after I left. Thanks again and keep up the great work, guys. Ruben. Wow. Some crazy stuff, man.
Yep.
That actually does fill in a big gap that was in that first story. I mean, because, I don't know if you remember, Rob, when we were talking about, what happened between,
we'd like to
we did, what?
We were like, why did they do an exorcism? But I guess this explains it.
The creepiest part is, for me, is like having somebody fucking mimic your prayer back. Like it's like it mocking you like it's a joke, you know?
It was a deep, dark,
your prayers have no effect. Like, I don't know.
And then the bed shaking too? I'm like, oh my God.
I would just walk outside.
I'd be
I
gone.
wonder, the way they made it sound was maybe a bitchy mom, somebody that's always complaining, or just
an evil stepmom, but not really the stepmom, just a mom.
Just mean, just
evil mom.
And then he says that everybody left her at the end. The husband left her, the children
kids,
left her, so she was just a bitter old woman at the end, and she died the same way. But he made it sound also like that was the only way that she knew how to be, and that she was sad about that. But then again, I don't know, because you have these things where she's coming through the baby monitor, showing her motherly instincts by,
or maybe she's just trying like a second chance. But he even said he didn't put too much into that story.
But
that's true.
Mimicking our father and the prayers that they had, that was
something. I would have to say it's something more demonic.
Where did that come from, right?
That's scary. Ruben, I hope I didn't mess it up too much. I know it's early in the episode, but we've all had a lot of beer already.
I'm golden. You're gonna do this.
And also too, he was saying that after they left,
everything felt lighter. And
well, that's what they said, but he didn't feel that way.
Maybe
he didn't feel that way.
Okay, because they were in the middle of the room and they had to, like, this is my house,
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't the case if somebody else came in. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't necessarily their house anymore.
The landlord wound up having a heart attack, and Ruben even said
that's what maybe the spirits were like. Let me just leave these people alone, and then
somebody more susceptible.
Yeah.
And that does happen. They could come back and, you know what, I got somebody else to pick on you, and maybe it wasn't the mother no more. Maybe it was this new entity that, to me, it sounded like there were two of them, because you had this demon and then you had the woman. Unless that woman was that spiteful and hateful that she maybe turned into this demon, but I don't know.
I'm thinking the woman was the demon myself, but that's what I'm thinking.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it just sounded weird. You may be right.
For like your own kids to not like you have to be some kind of evil.
That is true too.
That's just my opinion, because
that is true. But then it sounded like to be that way, you would always stay mean and be
bitter,
a bitch.
Right.
But he said she died mean, bitter old bitch. Yeah. So, but then this is what gets me too, is like they hear over the baby monitor that he's
singing,
lady,
but you know
deceiving.
What? She's probably
You're right too, because I never thought. I was just thinking about that. That's why I slowed down my time. Because it always starts off slow, and then at the end you got somebody dragging you by the hair across the hallway. So you're right.
Climbing on the ceiling and stuff, and it's like
it's okay. She sang me lullabies.
That was a great story. Thank you so much.
Thank you for cleaning up.
And that's good. You got your family out of there. We're grateful.
Oh, definitely.
For that.
And we wish you the best. Hopefully everything turned out okay. So thank you so much.
How's your baby doing now?
Yeah, that's right. You got to let us know how your kid.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. We definitely know.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up too. That's great that you sent us 2 stories. Really appreciate that. All right, so what do we got next? Who's reading the next story?
I got a good one.
Yeah, Jasmine wants to read too because she's already getting that buzz factor.
I'll be the fat guy at the end, drunk, man. I don't fucking want to read them. We got enough fucking stories.
I mean, if you get too drunk, I guess I always could jump in.
If you could read this, then you're give it to you.
This guy went to college. Let him read.
I ain't drinking, and also, I mean, I'm stealing Jazz's position, so might as well.
He
Oh, it's
doesn't drink, so he can
definitely
steal
up
all
for
our
you
stories.
to read this. But if you can read it, it's on because I got like,
Man.
look at this.
I mean, it's just
hold
in my
on.
handwriting, man.
He didn't.
Just as bad.
I don't think Ian took hieroglyphics, though, man. That's not what he made.
Yeah,
it then,
seriously.
but-
Yeah, I'm serious, man. It looked like a cat put ink on his claws and just started scratching away. I was just like, what is that?
Doing handwriting, man. It's
Okay,
anything
whoa.
legible.
Ian drank like 7 beers less than us, which is 0.
Right. Oh yeah, sure.
And Kory's over there playing Pokemon.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
interfere with
He'd
it.
be fucking quiet over there.
I mean, I
Say
got a drinking
something.
problem, guys. I mean, I just drink so much water all the time.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. It'd be nice to clear pee one time. The pee come out clear instead of like, orange. Yeah, that's
He's
must be
dropping
nice.
water.
I think I might be like residual drunk. Like I caught it from you guys.
We're rubbing off on it. It's the alcohol that we're breathing.
Yeah, man, can you
He's inhaling.
Yeah, that's what my buddy told me in the morning. Yeah, one time I went, man, real hungover. I mean, like real hungover, man. The guy I went there, I came in, hey, dude, what's up? Chinga vato. He goes, man, I like to get drunk by tasting my beer, not by smelling it.
You know what? I'm such an alcoholic that I don't think that I didn't know that was a real thing because I've been around plenty of fucking drunk or hungover people and I'm like, you're fine. Like, I don't fucking smell it in their pores or whatever. I don't know. I've never experienced that. Like, I'm like, nah, you're
go on a
good.
stupor and then, yeah, you drink one night and then you go, and it doesn't even have to be hot.
Oh,
Your
no, I
body
sweat
could
it
just
out
be
before,
in
too,
motion, and you just got this, just like false step flowing out of your body or whatever you drink, It's and then it stink too,
False
boy.
step.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then it's just like it's disgusting, man. And
it
it
is
just
bad.
stink, man. People know.
Oh my god, I've been that person before.
Like, and they don't want to. Some people are cool. Some of my friends,
I've
I'll
been
tell
to
you.
work drunk so many times before.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my
I think
god.
that's why things come easier to us because if you ever worked on machinery or anything like that drunk and you didn't hurt nobody or yourself and you came back,
You're a pro.
that just made you stronger. Can you imagine doing it? Seriously. Yeah, you come back and you're just like, damn, I need a drink to work this thing, man. I'm sorry, Jasmine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Alright guys, alright. Our story comes from Ray and he says, hello RMP crew. About 10 years ago, some strange things started happening in my home. Me and my wife had been together for over 30 years. We had been living in our house for about 28 years.
Oh, hijos.
That is so rude. Is it me?
No.
Keep it in. Exactly like that.
We have been living in this house.
It's a presentation, Jasmine. You gotta spruce it
I'd
up
like
a
to
little
be
bit.
going home before
Okay,
tomorrow.
Okay, here we go.
About 10 years ago, was it? What the fuck do you want from me? Alright, guys. The story comes from Ray. He says,
You're so enthusiastic.
I know.
Yeah, Ray's gonna hear this.
Alright,
Why
Ray.
was your daughter so mad? Was it something I wrote?
What the fuck? Alright, guys. This
There we go.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, this story comes to us from Ray. He says, hello, RMP.
Oh my god.
What's going on?
He says,
I think they're just
hello.
too drunk, Kory. They're just too drunk.
This story comes.
Nobody say anything this time.
Alright, guys. Alright, for real. The story comes from Ray. Hello, RMP crew. About 10 years ago, some strange things started happening in my home. Me and my wife had been together for 30 years. We had been living in our house for about 28 years. My father-in-law had always been very close to me. Around 10 years ago, he became very ill. He was very diabetic and his leg had to be amputated. His kidneys were also starting to fail. We made the decision to have him stay with us. At the time, I was smoking cigarettes. My father-in-law had also smoked. I know he was not supposed to because of him being ill, but it was the only thing he looked forward to. At night, during his stay with us, he would pass by my bedroom door in his squeaky wheelchair and ask, "Son, do you have a cigarette?" So I would get up and go smoke a cigarette with him outside, and we would make small talk about the day. It was our nightly ritual. Then one day he became so ill he had to be hospitalized. His health had started to decline very rapidly, and within a couple of weeks he had died. My wife and I were devastated. Around a month later, I was laying down in bed. I had to go to work early. As I laid there, I heard what sounded like squeaky wheels down the hallway. I got up to see what was there, but there was nothing there. Then one night, I was awakened by a smell of cigarette smoke. I got up expecting to find someone smoking in my house, but there was no one. I knew it wasn't my wife because she had hated cigarettes and was sleeping. My children were too young to smoke, and they were sleeping as well. I could smell the smoke, but not pinpoint where it was coming from. I think it was my father-in-law coming back for his nightly smoke. Things like that still continued to happen from time to time. Another strange thing that happened in my home about 6 years ago, my brother-in-law had a massive heart attack and died in my house. A few months after he had died, we would hear footsteps and sometimes see shadows of a man. One day, I had a contractor come to my house to work on the wooden floors. As I was speaking to one of the contractors, the other contractor in front of me started looking at something passing behind me. He kind of looked startled. I looked behind me, but I didn't see anything. I asked the contractor, "What's wrong?" He said he saw a man floating behind me. I told him I was the only person there. When I walked into my living room, the contractor saw a picture of my dead brother-in-law and said, "That's the man I saw." Thanks for letting me tell my story. I love you guys. Keep up the Uber stories. Dave.
Ooh, all right, Uber.
They're great.
They are great,
They're
dude.
great.
I don't know. I like they're cheesy sometimes. But anyway, that was a great story.
That was a great story.
That was crazy.
I was so gonna read it.
Somebody coming back to get their last cigarette.
Somebody dying for a cigarette. So I can imagine how we're gonna be with beer.
I think that was a sweet story.
That was.
Just having that.
That's what stood out was when he would say that there was a nightly ritual. Even though his father-in-law was ill, they would be out there just having that cigarette out there and just bonding and talking and, going back to bed. And that was just something to look forward to for the old man. He didn't have much longer to live, obviously, or however that.
Yeah, I think they all knew that. And
yeah, and he was
to make him comfortable, let him do what he did.
A cigarette, give him a cigarette.
It's like the way we came back before when we were talking about the other grandfather stories.
Yeah, he
and
just
stuff.
comes back like, "I'm okay, guys."
Yeah.
You're in a wheelchair in the middle of the night. That's creepy though, man.
I would be scared, but I'd feel a little
scared.
comfort.
I mean, listening to it now, it's a comforting story,
But to actually do it, I hear you, man.
But to actually hear that,
especially them, if they love them so much, maybe that is more comfort than anything. The weird one was the brother-in-law having a massive heart attack in the house and dying there.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then the contractor tripping out because he's seen him walk behind her.
I just saw that guy walk by.
It's weird that nobody, they were seeing shadows and hearing footsteps and stuff that was talking about, but they never really saw him. It took a contractor.
I wonder if his brother-in-law was like a prankster, like, let me just fuck with these guys. I don't know. I'm trying to find a correlation between floating and, heart attack. That's sad.
Speaking of the wheelchair earlier, at our old house, remember when we used to live with Grandma when we were kids? Didn't Tony say that you saw the wheelchair or heard the wheelchair go by of our grandmother?
That was actually me.
Oh, it was you.
Yeah, I was, I don't know.
It was you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't know if you actually recall that house. I'm sure you did.
Oh, yeah. I remember the house, man. It was...
There was
Oops. That's the dog again.
there was, the house was old, man.
There is no ignoring that dog. Like, some things can be too... Shut up, Charlie!
Look at that. You quiet it down real quick. I remember that house. Man, that house was... Man, it was old.
Supposedly, our grandfather, who we never met, was the one who either built it or... It's weird, too, because, man, those old neighborhoods back there, somebody in your family built one of those houses around there. It's all modern now and stuff like that. But anyway, the house, it had where the restroom was, that's me squeaking the chairs and stuff. When you come out of the restroom, you have one room right in front of it. To the right, you have a kitchen area. And to the left, you had the front room area, and then from the front room you went to make a right, and there's another room, but as you're coming out of that restroom, there's two rooms. You can see them too. There's one in front of the restroom, and then you go to the back of that room. They had a doorway, and then they had another room there.
You lost me at restroom.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, but
No, I do
anyway,
remember.
I was trying to explain because like I was laying on a bed there, and I was trying to get to sleep, man. That's what it was, because I was working construction, I think, at the time, and I was laying there. I just looked towards the restroom, and it looked like Grandma was passing by. And I stayed there looking. I was like, what? And you know what's weird?
Is that the same grandma that had her?
That's exactly what I was just about to say. She was diabetic, and she had her leg amputated also because she had actually both of them. That's weird that you brought that up because it was just scary to me. I got more scared.
They're not supposed to be there. And they are. I mean, it's not.
So that was just, to me, it was creepy. But I'm sure these people had.
I can imagine how he felt.
I'm sure he was a little creeped out, but then
someone that spent every night out with him.
It may have been, he was with them, and he knew him, and he knew his daughter, and that's just finding a little solace there or whatever he had to. But the other one was kind of weird, man. The brother, maybe he was a prankster also. They didn't seem like a bad family, so this is one of those good families,
It could have been, you're right. Maybe he was just laying around with him, just messing with him. Like, hey, you know what? I'm still here. I'm gonna mess with you too.
Exactly.
You never know.
Good one, Ray. Thank you,
Ray.
I reckon.
So what do we got? I guess it's your
Drum
turn,
roll
but-
for Dad.
Yeah.
See if you can get through this whole story.
I got seriously,
Thank God
man.
for your editing.
Yeah. Man, look at this writing, man. Seriously, it looked like I could have done better if I asked some drunk homeless guy living in a dumpster. Can you
For the
write this for
record,
me? Yeah.
the stories come in and my dad rewrites them because he's used to paper and pen.
Yeah, well, what it is we actually keep everything normal, but my eyesight is going away, and I hate using my bifocals because it just seems blurrier, especially when I drink.
Yeah.
So I think I'm better off with a magnifying glass, seriously. Anyway, this next story, actually, this is the second part to Joseph's story from last week.
Right, yeah.
Do y'all remember last week's story?
Yes.
That
We
was
talked it up a lot. I mean, it's a good story, so.
That's right. That was the Perrin Crest Apartments.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
had
with
that
the
in
blood
part one.
stains.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
man.
he moved into his apartment. He had blood stains, and
Yeah.
it was like when he first. It was like the first 2 days that he moved in there, and the second day he had saw like
Yeah, he
a
saw
man
shadow
walk
run
by.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. it just
Yeah.
went by
And nobody
through
was
the
in his
door.
house.
Yeah, same
That
one.
was crazy.
So.
This is actually a trilogy of his story. This is the second part.
Actually,
Yeah, we got,
Okay, so
we got 3 all together, right?
Yeah, he went through some really crazy things besides a blood stain. And he said, what did he say that he kind of complained about it? They said, yeah, we'll get to it, but it was still there when they came
we'll
back.
clean it, and it was just like kind of scrubbed off a little.
Yeah, and then
Whatever.
Like fucking buy some new carpets. Like,
Really?
well, they're like, hell no, then I gotta, that's some cheapness right there.
no, like
man.
they could have at least brought a carpet and just threw it over it, you know?
Or
like,
something, because that's bullshit.
just bleach that spot or something.
It doesn't sound weird. That's why I went into that one, because he saw the shadow people or whatever he was seeing down there, and this is like only 2 days in. So I'm gonna go from there. This starts off by him telling us, when I started getting to know the neighbors, one asked if I was scared to stay in my apartment. I asked why. He said that the previous tenant was an alcoholic and fell, hit his head, and died. To make matters worse, his girlfriend found him dead, robbed him, and left him, not telling anyone he was dead. It wasn't until neighbors started complaining of the terrible smell coming from the apartment that someone actually came and checked up on him. He had been dead for a month before being discovered. One night, I was laying on my bed and I was awakened from my sleep. When I tried to get up, it felt like someone was pinning me down. I couldn't move. I started to panic and I forced myself up. I was so terrified that I tried to get myself together and I laid back down, and it happened again. This time it was more intense. I couldn't breathe or move. Whatever was holding me down released me. I jumped out of that bed and ran out of the room. My brother was staying the night, so I ran into his room and told him what happened, but he didn't believe me. A couple of days later, me and my brother were watching the game. All of a sudden, my wallet and car keys flew off the top of the TV. I had one of those old bulky TVs, and I always stored things on top of it. My brother almost shit his pants. All I could say was, I told you, I told you. One time when I came home from work, my dog was running around the apartment complex. This was strange because I locked all my doors and I never let my dog outside because he is a vicious dog. I put him back inside my apartment and my sliding door was a little open, but nothing was missing. This happened all the time. The landlord started getting upset with me. And that's where he ended the story. So we're going to have to go with part 3. Actually, part 3 gets a lot better also.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's
How are you going to be not knowing somebody's gone for a whole month? And you only notice him when he starts to stink?
And I would come back and...
stayed there for 30 days, though, that before they discovered his dead body.
They're
That's
probably
what I'm
just trying to
saying.
collect their rent. They didn't even care about
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I would come back pretty upset if I had been staying there and nobody checked up on me, and not to mention getting robbed.
Yeah, what
That
kind
would
of
make
bitch
me
was that,
fucking-
man? She walk in and say, "Oh, you wake up," and he's not waking up. Well, I'm just gonna help
dead
myself
like
to this
that.
shit. That's a bullshit right there. I wonder if she's being haunted. I'd love to hear something
yeah.
from
Oh,
her.
I know, right?
She should have been arrested for that.
I
And
would think
what-
so. Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder how they found out about that part. I'm sure it's something that was trippy because
Yeah. Well, it had to be like Kory said. They came to get their rent. That's the only reason. That's why it's 30
Well,
days.
they
I
said
mean-
too, the smell, the neighbors said, but I mean, come on, nosy neighbors, you're watching everything they fucking do, you know what I mean?
no, but how did they know about the girlfriend? I mean, I'm sure that did
Oh,
happen.
But that's what I'm saying, nosy neighbors, I mean.
Oh yeah, she was there probably. Yeah.
That she was there.
Yeah.
I bet you the cops investigated later, and they're like, "What happened?"
Oh, that's
and
true,
asked
too,
neighbors
yeah.
and stuff, and found out. Okay, well, their girlfriend came by, and she probably
Yeah.
said, "Well, yeah, I needed some drug money, so
Yeah.
I took his wallet." But you know what?
It was our wallet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought he was asleep. I
I
noticed
needed a
he
Michael
smelled bad.
Cole purse or something.
Michael Kors. It's Michael Kors.
That's yeah, stupid. Who's Michael Cole? Cole.
Michael Kors.
Michael Cole. That's a knockoff.
know.
Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Because if they didn't give a shit about cleaning that
Yeah.
wet stain,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they
Then-
probably just like fuck it, just like
They
something.
didn't care.
Yeah,
They
poor
do the
guy,
bare
They probably
minimum,
did
yeah.
know he was dead. Like who's gonna take care of that guy in room so and
Yeah,
so?
nobody wanted to.
Like,
Yeah.
let's just wait a little longer.
Let's just
man.
see how long.
Somebody will come pick him up.
We'll tell the maintenance lady to go do it. The one
Yeah,
that
that's
was,
terrible though, man.
I found the white powder in the rest.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, that's scary though. And fucking, I mean,
That's
sleep
crazy.
paralysis and being held down while you're, I don't
Because he said
know,
he laid back
awake.
down. Didn't he? He said he
Yes.
was woken and he felt like he couldn't get up.
Yeah.
And then he laid back down, I guess to get his bearings. And then it was worse that he couldn't breathe on top of everything else. I don't know if it's an evil presence or if it's just a presence that's pissed off.
Wants attention, maybe.
Well, I mean, like the way it ended for him.
Yeah,
like he got
fucking
fucked.
get vengeance.
You know, I'm trying to enjoy my beer. I fall down, I bust my head open, which is, I'm sorry
Yeah.
if you get that drunk. And I'm not saying nothing, it's bad you died. But what's even worse is that he got fucked over by his girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
that
so
he
it's supposed
trusted.
to fucking love you.
So you're gonna not be a very jolly guy if you do decide to come
Right.
back.
I feel bad for Joseph because we know the third story already, but he had to endure this for quite a bit of time
Yeah.
because he was on this year lease, so he had to stay there for the full year.
Exactly.
But as soon as he got a chance,
Yeah, I'm out, man.
he got out of there, got the hell out of that place. Man.
But he says there's like in the first episode he had his fucking cousin living right next to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his
So I
cousin
wonder-
didn't even want to come over.
Yeah,
around.
nobody- he said, yeah.
After a while.
Or and his brother like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like I would have so much relief knowing like I'm not fucking crazy. Like you saw that too. You saw the shit fly.
Right, that was good though because he got some validation there because I think originally.
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah.
I told you. Like
Yeah.
he was trying.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me while I was reading it, he said he had one of those big old bulky TVs.
Yeah, the old
and,
TVs,
And I'm
yeah.
laughing because I'm like, I wonder if somebody's talking about like, what's he talking about? You can't put nothing on top of your TVs.
Yeah.
The
Nothing on
flat
top of my
screen.
plasma.
They're
Yeah.
all flat nowadays. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
like
true.
back in the day, those TVs.
These were the first big screens.
Yeah, they were like 24 inches deep,
Yeah,
It's like
they're
front to
huge,
back,
yeah.
at least on the top only. That didn't,
Yeah, it was
that didn't include the
extra-
tube.
Extra shelf space.
Yeah.
So that's gotta be a mad spirit coming back. It just ended bad for him, so he's gonna fuck
how
it
could
up
you-
for everybody else.
There's no way you can rest in peace having such a tragic death like that, or like a sudden death and then getting fucked over.
Yeah, that's true too. Instead of haunting who we should have been haunting,
Yeah.
but I mean, maybe he
I mean, that
couldn't
was
leave
his
that
home,
spot also. Yeah.
You know what I wonder? What if the guy died drunk?
And he
Would
woke
you
up
still
drunk?
Be drunk in your afterlife? I mean,
I would hope
I
so.
wonder if it's possible. 'cause
I would hope so.
I don't know. Maybe he's not a mad ghost. He's just drunk.
He's just a fucking sloppy drunk.
Yeah, man,
He could be. That'd be awesome, I think.
Yeah, I would.
I don't know, but that'd be messed up too if you were stuck in whatever state you were in when you died.
Except for
If you have a
drunk.
Okay, I'm
headache
with Ian
or,
on
like,
that
an
one.
itch or something like that, it's stuck there for the
Oh,
rest
that
of your
would be-
Yeah,
life.
see, I was with Ian, yeah, because what if he pissed himself or shit himself and you're rolling like...
God, yeah.
And we're making light of this, but
Right.
like, what if you do come back like that?
I'd be okay.
No, come on.
No,
man.
yes, I would because I have the worst hangovers ever.
Well, what if you had a hangover and you passed
No, because
away?
you're still drunk. Oh, then I would fucking.
No, maybe you passed away with a hangover, then you have that for the rest of your life.
Somebody show me
That's
to the
Then
light.
you really be
Yeah.
pissed off.
Show me the light.
Somebody show me the light, please.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
you know what? I saw an article recently speaking about afterlife. I think it was German scientists proved there was life after death. They did a scientific research where people were alive after dying for like 20 minutes or something, 20 minutes.
So not like reincarnation.
No, not reincarnation, but here comes Kory. He's opening the door. That's all right, Kory. Don't worry
He went to
about
go
it.
draw
You're
something
good.
real quick.
But they said they were clinically pronounced dead. And when they brought them back to life, they remembered a lot of details and they could even see.
Oh,
themselves.
like what was going on while they
Yeah,
were dead?
While they were dead,
Oh
yeah.
my god,
But,
that's cool.
but the question I want to know is, was all brain activity ceased? Because
Supposedly.
I know that there is a period of time where your brain activity continues after you die.
Right, yeah. They say your brain does continue for...
I think 15 minutes?
I thought it was 15 minutes. You're right. So,
Are you serious?
yeah. Brain activity continues for, I think it's 15 minutes. Your heart will keep moving. I think that's what keeps you alive.
Mm-hmm.
But your brain can actually be dead. But if they revive the brain, then you're actually alive again. You know what? Well, I don't remember what the time was. I thought it was probably up to 40 minutes or something. But to me, I've never heard of that personally, of somebody staying alive that long. But
I feel like
Coming
because
back after that.
yeah, coming
because
back
I've heard
after
like
40 minutes, or after 20 minutes.
once you experience all that, like everything slows down. That's when you get like all the flashbacks. That's what I've read at least.
It's
Like everything
weird,
slows
though.
down.
You never know. I love reading all these weird things. I also saw that we discovered a planet where there may be life. It's in that sweet zone,
Is it the Goldilocks zone or something?
Goldilocks zone, but it's like
Light
7
years
light
away.
years
Yeah.
away. So they said, yeah.
That's the nearest star, though, right? I think that's the nearest star to ours.
Yeah, they said they had a weird one though. Oh my god, I don't even want to get into it because it's
I
just
hate
like
doing this
something
right
weird.
now, too,
Yeah.
because, yeah, we're all drunk. So it's like,
Yeah, bro, we know what we're
people
talking
are gonna be like,
about.
you know what? I just go to Google and read some of this news. But I do know Walking Dead is going to be starting soon, so we're
Yeah, we can't wait for that.
I'm
Look at Jazzy's all excited.
I'm
about
excited but scared. Like I know I'm gonna be pissed. I was pissed off
that.
at the
We're
last
all gonna be-
episode.
it doesn't matter who it was. We're all going to be upset.
Oh yeah, there'll be tears flowing.
Let me
that
tell y'all
day.
something. I had already fucking swear 3 times that I was gonna stop watching the show. I said if Daryl dies, if Tyrese dies, and if Herschel dies. Sorry, spoiler alert. I had a fucking dream that I had my baby about 3 years ago almost. I had a dream that Herschel, Daryl, and Tyrese all came up to the door and they were like, "Congratulations!" So I was like,
Wouldn't
"Fuck no!"
that be-
Yeah, like
that'd
they
be
were my
awesome.
favorite ones. I was like, if they die, if any of them die, and 2 of those 3 are gone already.
Yeah, we should reach out to The Walking Dead and see if they can give us some sponsorship. We were talking about
Oh,
it.
yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I don't know. I think Rob said he called Lone Star Beer. They didn't want to call us.
They were
that.
like,
They were
yeah,
You
drink our beer.
Fat
cool.
drunk. Nobody drinks this. We don't even drink it.
Oh my god.
Oh, I feel bad for you.
Oh, I love this stuff, man. We all do, man. Anyway, great story, Joseph, and we got part 3 coming up next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Right, next we got Jasmine actually did an interview today.
Yeah.
That was really cool with Sisters Grimm.
I butchered it, but it's still a good interview.
She butchered it, but you know what? Man, you're gonna sound like a pro when I'm done editing this thing. So you shouldn't even mention that you butchered it because by the time we're done, people are gonna
I'm
be
like,
like, "What is
dang,
she
who's
talking
that?"
about?" Yeah.
Yeah, you spoke with Lauren Scheiss. I'm hoping I'm saying
Yeah, I
that right.
hope you got it right. But, definitely, the lady was really awesome.
I feel like such a weirdo. I didn't want to ask her last name because like she's like, "What the fuck do you want my last name for?"
All right. So, anyway, here's Jasmine's interview.
First question is, what got you started doing the Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour?
Well, I had grown up going on ghost tours all over the country and all over the world, and I just had a great appreciation for great ghost tours. And I had been on a few ghost tours in San Antonio, and I just thought they were just not up to par with some of the other ghost tours I've been on. And they didn't really talk very much about history, and I thought that is very important when you're telling a good story or good ghost story. You need to have history. You need to have facts to back it up. And I felt like they were all lacking in that. And especially I came in because I have a lot of family history in San Antonio. I'm related to the Canary Islanders, who were the first founding families of San Antonio. So I just grew up knowing a lot of the history of the city. And so with that and combining the good ghost stories, where we were able to create Sisters Grimm.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, and how long have you been doing this tour?
We just celebrated our 5th year.
Do you have any particular haunted locations on your tour that are your favorite?
Right now, my favorite part is the cemetery, the San Antonio Cemetery, City Cemetery number 1. We just opened up our Ghost Bus tour in March, and that tour ends inside of the city cemetery, and it's just really neat to walk through there at night and to hear about a lot of famous people that helped build San Antonio are all buried within that cemetery. So you get to go through and hear about their histories, and it is pretty spooky to be out there late at night as well.
While doing this ghost tour, have you ever experienced any unexpected paranormal activity?
Actually, just last week on the Ghost Bus tour, when we were ending in the cemetery, we go and we visit some people's grave sites, and then at the end, everybody kind of takes off on their own and kind of explores a little bit. And I always love to explore the cemetery, whether I'm doing the tour or not. So I was walking through, and I looked up and I saw a gentleman dressed in old historic clothing with a bowler hat just walking through the cemetery, and then just disappeared right in front of me.
Wow.
And yeah, that was a little spooky at first. and after that, I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, and you were alone when you saw this?
Yes. So everybody had been walking back to the bus, and I go out and I go further in the cemetery by myself and explore around. And yeah, so I was alone.
Oh my God.
In that area.
That's creepy. What about your guests? Have they experienced anything?
Yeah, our tour guides, a lot of them experienced stuff at the Spanish Governor's Palace. There's a certain window everybody likes to go and take photos in because there's a woman they call the Lady in Gray that appears through that window. And a lot of our tour guides have been pushed. They have had their hair pulled, all while standing at that window and telling the history and the hauntings of the building.
San Antonio has some of the best haunted spots in the U.S. because of our rich history. We love the ghostly tales of the Alamo, the Manger, the Gunter, the railroad tracks, Cadillac Bar, and all the others, but do you have any stories on your ghost tour that may not be as popular as the regular ghost experiences in San Antonio? One
that's pretty popular on our tour, but not a lot of people know that's haunted, is the Holiday Inn Express on Cameron Street. It used to be the former Bexar County Jail, and not a lot of people realize that because it's the Holiday Inn Express now, and it looks newer. But it served as our jail from 1878 till 1962, and from 1962 till 2002, it sat dormant. But it had the last man to be publicly hanged in San Antonio's history occurred at that jail. And his hanging was so gruesome because he was almost decapitated in front of all of his family and friends that they decided to do his hangings. And not too much later after that, well, in the 60s, they closed it down. But now it's a hotel, and you can go and stay there. You stay in, the rooms are what the former cells were. Of course, they don't have bars on them. They now have doors. But it's kind of spooky that you can stay in there where people were hanged and where people stayed for a long time. Hardened criminals and rapists and all those great people.
Now people pay to stay there. It's crazy.
Yes, exactly. And then people have claimed, so the hangings took place inside the building and not outside, which was normal, but inside on the 3rd floor. So if you were staying in the hotel, they say to stay in room 304 and 204. 304 is where the trapdoor was. 204 is where the bodies came through when they were hanged.
Oh my god, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're too familiar with our podcast, but we like to joke around. We have a pretty good sense of humor. So what is the most funniest experience either you or one of your guests have experienced?
We had one lady, who was a couple of years ago. We had a lady that was on our Halloween dinner and ghost tour. And we were standing up on the second floor when we were talking about Sally White, who's a ghost system in your hotel. And there was a lady on the tour that said she looked over, and behind me stands the King Suite while I speak, or our tour guide speaks. And she said she saw a man. Well, first of all, what happened was, while I was talking about Sally White, she fainted. And we all went over there, woke her up, and she got up and she said that she saw a man standing next to the King Suite, and he was dressed in old historical clothing, and he turned and looked at her. And later on, it happened just to show a photo of Captain King. That's when she fainted, because she said it was the same man that she had just seen.
Oh my God. It's very impressive that the Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour has won the TripAdvisor Award 4 years in a row. What makes this ghost tour so successful in your opinion?
I believe it's because we work really hard, but I think we appeal to both types of people. We appeal to history lovers that want to come on the tour and hear history and are kind of interested in ghost stories. And we also appeal to the people that really want to hear ghost stories, but not so interested in history. But I think coming on a ghost tour makes them a little more interested in history. So I think we walk that fine line of appealing to both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. What special events are coming up for y'all?
We do special dinner and ghost tours in the last 2 weekends in October.
And what is the website where people can go and find you guys at?
Yes, it is Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour.com.
Okay, and you can also find you guys on Facebook.
Yes. Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours, on Instagram, and on Twitter.
Where is the ghost tour located?
Well, we have several locations for whichever tour starts, but like the dinner and ghost tour, it's at the Manger Hotel, so 204 Alamo Plaza.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, well, man, thank you, Lauren, for that interview. That was awesome.
It was seriously.
It was great.
Didn't know about the Holiday Inn Express.
That was crazy. I know. I didn't know that.
I never knew anything like that.
That was some really good history, and I'm glad, like she said, that what keeps them interesting, the reason why they won these awards is because they're kind of in between. They give a little bit of history, and they're giving a little bit of...
so they cater to both.
Yeah. So I'm like that, and that was great. I mean, I love that. I mean, because I like history. I know, and I know you guys
her
do
family
too.
is some of the forefathers of San Antonio who established San Antonio. That's something awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
and so I can imagine she probably has a ton of them, man. I like the way she was saying about that cemetery. She said it's the San Antonio Cemetery. Was it like number one? Yeah.
I think it was.
I wonder if those are the ones that are off of the east side around here. I could be wrong.
Know, because number one can be any cemetery. There's several, or at least in San Antonio, there's several of them. I know there's some on the west side.
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
have a number one, number two. And
take this
stuff,
ghost
Oh
tour.
yes, we definitely.
Yeah, you know what? We need to do that. That's a way to find out. There you go.
You know what I thought was interesting? She said about the room 204 in the Holiday Inn 204.
Right.
So if you're looking for something creepy, 204 was where the bodies.
That's where it ended, right?
That's where the bodies fell, and
the
304 is where the trapdoor was.
Yeah.
So.
So that's awesome, man.
That's crazy because it's two different floors. I mean,
Like, I mean, okay, because you're staying in a room, like, I just can't imagine staying in a room that used to be a jail cell.
Yeah, that's
Right.
crazy. But I mean, I guess it's just like the other ones too, like the Gunther and like the other ones they had there. You know, those are. I actually want to stay in those ones, especially the Robert Johnson one. But that one I would love to check out.
This is the same place you said, but the hanging took place and it was so gruesome.
Yeah, that he almost got decapitated. That happened a lot back then.
I mean, how
right?
far did they drop him?
Yeah, yeah, they dropped him off the balcony, right?
I mean,
I thought it was interesting that one of her funniest moments was somebody fainting.
oh, I know. Yeah, I know. That's kind of cool.
I mean,
It's funny.
that's
it's
my
funny to us.
Yeah, I laugh. That's our dark sense of humor. But,
That was Poor lady, she fainted.
That wasn't funny to me.
No.
Oh my god.
Actually, their website is www.sistersgrimmghosttours.com.
And you have their number.
Okay, their number also is 210-638-1338. And you can contact them. It sounds like a really great tour. We actually really got to go check that one out.
Did she say how much the tour was to do by any chance? Or I don't mean to.
You know, I had asked her. She said it's on the website. She can find out.
Cool, yeah. But yeah, if you're in San Antonio and you want to do a great ghost tour, man, there you go, man. You got to do that. And then, you know, that's what I do when I'm going to go to a place like, New Orleans or anytime we go on vacation. Honestly, just when we go on vacation in general, I like to do that. I like to check out, what's haunted in the area.
Yeah.
To try and do some of the stuff, do the ghost tours and all that. Well, this would be the place to go. If you're going to come to San Antonio, you got to do that ghost tour. Another place you definitely have to come visit is the Black Swan Inn.
Oh, yes, definitely.
The people there are really awesome.
They're great hosts.
You know what,
I can't say enough how fucking awesome she was.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember 2 years ago when we went out there. Man, they were so awesome there too. We ran into the same guy that was there when we were doing the interview with Joanne. But the guy, I don't know, remember, we kind of walked up to the door, we knocked on the door, we're like,
interrupted his sleep and
hello?
everything.
Yeah. And the guy just came down
He was so
and we're
gracious.
like...
Yeah, he was real cool. Said, just do your thing.
Well, we told him we were just going to walk around on the grounds outside. And he told us, you can walk around downstairs, that's fine. Or you can go to the back, He's like, I don't
walk
care.
into my room.
Just don't go upstairs because I'm going to sleep. And we're like, what in the world? The guy's door was open and he let us walk all around. And,
Hey, that's just the kind of people they are, too. They're just so cool and so just... I'm not suggesting everybody go bang on their door at, 12 o'clock at night, but they're just awesome.
They're just real nice people. I mean, you definitely got to go there.
We do somewhere in the hopefully near future. We're gonna have his story.
Oh, the Yorktown
Yorktown.
Hospital. Yes,
Yorktown Hospital. We can do that. That'd be great. She did say, you know what? You may want to talk with him when you do that. That'd be awesome. But in the meantime, Ian, you got that website, don't you? You got that pulled up for the Black Swan Inn?
Yes. Oh, do you want to know the website name?
Tell us.
Oh, okay.
You're fired.
No, I thought you were asking about the other website.
Sorry.
Sisters Grimm, because of the prices for the ghost tours. I thought you wanted to know that.
Oh yeah, no.
Got my job back.
The website for the Black Swan Inn is victoriasblackswaninn.net.
.net, okay.
Yes, and it's all one word, of course. Website's a one word.
Actually, they got some really cool stuff on their website, so please come visit them and check out their website.
Yeah, you come to San Antonio, you got to do both of those. They're like the things to do if you're into paranormal stuff or hauntings and stuff like that. Yorktown, unfortunately, is not in San Antonio. It is owned by the Black Swan, but it's in another city outside of San Antonio, about an hour away, right?
About 70 miles, yeah.
And since I'm the unofficial spokesperson for Facebook.
Ooh, there you go.
No, you know what? People have fucking Facebook. You know what I mean? Go look them up. They have Black Swan Inn's Facebook. They have the Sisters Grimm's Facebook.
Almost every one of them.
And that's what I'm saying. I follow both of them. They're pretty good at keeping up to date with their events, and they have a lot of stuff going on, so just go check them out there.
Also, who are these other guys that we're a part of?
Ooh, we are also part of Alamo City Podcast Network. And you guys know, you should know by now, if you've been following us,
right?
All the good stuff they have to offer.
Music equipment.
Music.
Right?
Music equipment, bands, art. They got it all.
Crafting, my favorite. Crafting.
Food.
My dad's favorite.
The stuff that we all like, so that's awesome, man. That's great. But also, guys, please, we want to hear from y'all.
We've been enjoying these stories that we've been getting lately.
And you guys have not once mentioned our number to call in.
That's right.
Our number is 210-901-8666.
And if you want to email us, you can email us at info@rigormortisparanormal.com, or you can go to our website, www.rigormortisparanormal.com, and you can submit the story there if you want to do it that way. Either way, however you decide to get a hold of us, please do. We want to hear your story. But in the meantime, listen to some of our other episodes. If not, thank you for listening to this one.
Just listen.
Just listen to us.
Just listen.
Send something our way. Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all.
Good night, guys. Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
Stop.
Stop!
got a
It's not
shitload
stopping.
of. We got a shitload of what you call it
stop
going
it.
on.
Good God.